What God did is called me to this ministry through the invitation from someone right here in the church from a small group or a Sunday school, or maybe the better term is life group. And that invitation, God's call on my life, was brought to a greater clarity of purpose and passion as he emphasized to me just how important the Fellowship of Christian Athletes was today in this world. See, he used a statement, a phrase, team of champions, to really awaken me to a greater depth of understanding about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. See, if I could define those two words for you, team is to come together to accomplish a common goal. Champion, rather, to be a champion is to fight on behalf of someone else. Or to champion something is to defend it. So if you can kind of vision cast with me here a little bit, dream with me about the idea of what it looks like for a group of people from out of the church to come together in Jesus Christ for the benefit of a coming generation, right? That as a champion, that you're fighting on behalf of that young generation. You're defending their faith before they even know that they need you to do it. See, FCA is vision focused to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes. And in order to do that, we have to stay mission focused to lead every coach and athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and his church. If I could use a couple scriptures to really emphasize the impact that the Fellowship of Christian Athletes can have in this world, I would take you to the book of Romans. Of course, the Apostle Paul is our author here. And if I could start in Romans 5:4, we see that Paul reminds us that endurance produces character, and character produces hope. See, endurance is this power of enduring an unpleasant or difficult situation without giving way. Right, so can you understand the significance we have in this opportunity to lead people with a platform of influence that none of us have? See, coaches and athletes, they live out faith on these courts and fields and endure difficult situations. Or, for example, they show us what it looks like to face someone who opposes them, or to ignore the noise that comes full of lies about who they are. See, when they endure, we get a chance to then see their character. This is what Paul talks about. Endurance produces a proven character. And character, right, is these mental and moral qualities that are distinctive of an individual. Right? What are the moral and mental qualities distinctive of a person of faith? As a Christian coach and a Christian athlete, we get a chance to see that. And as we do, then we have a chance to tap into hope. See, surrounded by so many things in the world today that cause us to lose hope, especially in a coming generation or just in the world in general, man, when coaches and athletes live out their faith and endure through these difficult situations without giving way from their faith and showcase their proven character, then there's influence there to give people hope, right? Not just an expectation that something could happen, but hope is about a firm belief that something will happen. The second verse then that Paul uses us to really inspire us towards the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the opportunity we have in it comes from Romans 1. See, in verse 16, Paul says, I am not ashamed of the gospel, for in it is salvation to everyone who believes. He says first the Jew and then the Greek. If I could use common language today, I would say first you, the Christian, and then those who do not believe yet. That's the power of the gospel. It's salvation for everyone who believes. But then in verse 17 of Romans chapter 1, Paul then says that the righteousness of God, right, that in the gospel, the righteousness of God, who God is, his love for us, what he did for us, all that is revealed, Paul says, from faith to faith. If I could use it in a little bit of a different language, I would say this. It's that someone else's faith is waiting on your faith. Maybe in this instance, you are feeling God stir in your heart and call you to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Maybe just like me, as I sat in the church almost 7 years ago and answered the call myself to come on staff with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, to answer a call and make FCA my next career opportunity. Or maybe you just feel a stirring in your heart to get in the game, to change the game. Maybe you want to be the next mobilized and empowered volunteer leader, someone like a character coach or a huddle coach that's consistently present in and around the team, teaching and producing character through the unique circumstances to endure that sports provides. Our greatest challenge in FCA is a lack of teammates. And Jesus reminds us of this, that the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And I would consider it an honor to come face to face with you upon your request and talk more in detail about what this might look like for you to answer your own call to the fellowship of Christian athletes.